Guys, Asher coming at you today with another Raid Shadow Legends Champion Guide. Welcome to the video, guys. Sending some positive vibes your way if you need it. Today, we're going to take a look at a permanent fusion inside this game. Everybody can get your hands on this dude, and it is Broadmaw. And I think he is an epic worth fusing for early game, mid game, and end game players because there is a Doom Tower secret room on the hard track that is Lizardmen epic only, and he's going to be a great support. Not only that, but he is a reliable reviver for faction wars in kind of the mid to end game as well. And he got a buff recently. Let's take a look at what he is now. Then we'll take a quick look at what he used to be when he was much more underwhelming than he is right now. Right now, he's a very competent reviver in the faction, which really needed one. So Ice Blast on his A1 ability attacks one enemy. We got a 45% chance of placing a freeze debuff when booked. So a little control on the A1. On the A2, Gift, 3-turn cooldown, increased crit rate, 30% big version, and then small version increased speed on all allies for 2 turns. Also fills the turn meter of all allies by 15%. It's really not a bad ability at all on a 3-turn cooldown. And then he brings the revive now on a 4-turn cooldown. Resurrect revives 2 random dead allies with 25% HP and a block damage buff on them to, make sure they can get them health again so they can stay alive, right? So Resurrect is now not a bad revival on a 4-turn cooldown, reviving 2 allies. Has defense and faction crits by 33%. So what did this dude used to do, right? So the old Broadmaw on the Ice Blast, it was a 25%, booked up to 35. Now again is 35, booked up to 40%, 45 on the freeze. So, an okay buff to the A1. On Gift, it always gave the crit rate and the increased speed for 2 turns, but then they added that turn meter boost by 15%, and then they also took the cooldown from a 5 when booked to a 4 when booked on the Resurrect revival. So really solid there. They also gave him an aura, increased ally defense. They changed it from the arena to faction crypts. Obviously, a great swap there because who is using this dude in the arena? Really nobody at this point or at any point. So anyway, that's what my man used to do here. Let me fix this. You can see his base stats. Not too bad. He's fairly tanky-ish on the HP with almost 19k. His defense leaves some to be desired. Certainly, the good thing is for a reviver, he's, fairly fast for an epic at 104. So I like that speed. I don't love the survivability, but we can get by. We can make use of it. So let's go ahead and show you how I have this champion built. Unfortunately, boo, no lore again on this champion here, but I have a couple of good ones coming up for you guys on the channel that do have the lore. So Broadmaw obviously is a void affinity, so you don't have to worry about affinity matchups at all. We put him in a shield set, and I love running Broadmaw with HP as a priority to keep him alive. You want him to be alive all the time because he's your reviver, and in a shield set, he just brings extra utility because, again, we're using him primarily for faction wars, maybe on Doom Tower support, on that Doom Tower secret room where they hit really hard. So it's good to have him in a shield set or a bolster or something like that to just bring a little bit extra to the table other than the revive and his buffs on the A1, a little bit of control, or on the A2 rather, a little bit of control on the A1. So we have perception as well because we do want to land that freeze at least sometimes. You can see my accuracy is not that high. That's the only reason we need accuracy on this champion is to land that freeze. And I found, believe it or not, in Faction Wars, 186 pretty much always lands freeze. And, you can definitely stand to have it a little bit higher anyway, though, if you really do want to make sure you're guaranteeing that freeze on the A1, or at least guaranteeing a 45% chance at landing the freeze on the A1. If not shield, you could run him in triple perception, you could run him in speed gear, you could run him in regeneration, stalwart, immortal gear. There's a lot of different ways you can build this champion. Fairly simple in terms of a champion to build here. Again, we're prioritizing HP, prioritizing as much speed and defense as we can get on him with a little bit of accuracy would be nice as well. What do I have on him here? We have on the banner defense, on the amulet HP, on the ring HP, and then we have speed on the boots, and I'm sure HP percentage on the chest, HP percentage on the gauntlets as well. Looking again for as much speed as we can get on this dude, along with HP and survivability. Let's go ahead and pick out the masteries together. There's 2 different ways to build this champion. You can build him offense, go down to War Master, in which case I would probably only pick up 1 mastery in each of these tiers, starting with Deadly Precision, coming down Keen Strike, probably going down to Life Drinker, get a little bit extra heals on this champion, then go bring it down methodical down to War Master. However, I like running, I mean, he's a support, you know, he's not going to be doing a lot of damage either way. It's probably not going to make or break your battle for most players in terms of getting a little bit extra damage out of the War Master against bosses. So for that reason, I actually like coming down and going with the accuracy debuffs to bolster that over 200. That would be really nice to have. We only have one basic set on him, so I'm going to go with Evil Eye instead. And I'm going to come down and pick up, I want to come over and grab Timely Intervention. So I am going to go with Cycle of Magic and then come down with Spirit Haste. Again, we want our Reviver to start moving faster and faster and faster when people start dying or taking a lot of damage. So increase this champion's turn meter by 20% whenever an ally hero drops below 25%. So we're going to go Timely Intervention as our tier 6 instead. As a matter of fact, we can come down here and pick up Lasting Gifts as well and have a chance of extending the duration of the increased crit rate and the increased speed that he's bringing to the table. So I like these masteries on him. On the defense tree, I would go with a little bit of defense and tough skin. And then we'd come down with Blast Proof, mitigating AoE damage. Again, all about survivability, Resurgent, a chance to cleanse debuffs, delay death against a single enemy. And then I think we're going to go Cycle of Revenge, has a 50% chance of increasing the turn meter by 15% when an ally is attacked with a critical hit. So I like that one. It's kind of the same reasoning that we like Spirit Haste and we like Timely Intervention on our Revivers. And then since he is bringing 2 buffs, we're going to go Rapid Response as well on this champion, both on a 3-turn cooldown. And we might as well go with Rejuven. Now, here's a champion. We'll go with Exalted Death. So there we go, guys. Those are the masteries that we're going to go with here. And let's go ahead and take him for a quick spin in Faction Wars, okay? So I put this team together. It's a fun little team. Faction Wars Stage 21. We have Cagebound, who is a rare champion. We'll have a guide on him coming in the next few weeks here. He has Ally Protect and a continuous heal on himself. He also has an AoE decrease attack, so a nice little support champion there. We have our only reviver, obviously, is going to be Broadmaw. And then we have our debuffer and kind of damage dealer control in Razin, in Vergamkar, and then Skathix as well. So it's not going to be the fastest team in the world, but it's going to get the job done nice and easy, right? So we'll see if anybody dies on this squad. You can see the debuffs, or excuse me, the buffs coming in off the A2 there. Nice tanky team, and obviously the shield as well, right? So he's bringing that nice shield to the table, just helping out. Not like we really need it here. These mobs, boy, it doesn't feel like a stage 21 faction war, does it, guys? I think when you get so used to Doom Tower, and unfortunately we don't have that Doom Tower rotation right now with that secret room. Otherwise, I would show that for you guys, because basically my team is Skathix, Broadmaw, we run Jareg, we run Venomage, and I forgot the last one. Basilisk? Is that a Lizardman? I think so. Anyway, that's the team that we run, but you're seeing here, unfortunately, or fortunately for, I guess, the team, right? We're not seeing a need to revive. But especially maybe you don't have like a, I don't know, I think Razin's still kind of a must-fuse, personally. Maybe you don't have a Vergamkar, you know? Cagebound, again, is just kind of a support extra champion there, but I think this faction, Crypt, you guys tell me if I'm wrong here, but I think it's probably one of the easier ones, because again, 2 of the champions that are going to really help carry you through this are going to be fusion champions in Broadmaw and in Razin Scarhide. And Razin's bringing that amazing, you know, A3, 100% turn meter reduction there. Still kind of, I think he needs a buff to his speed, Razin, that is. But other than that, I still think he's a really, really solid champion. Brings both of the big debuffs, decrease defense and weaken on a single target, which he should be using on his next turn here. But man, the red boss, even if he could do some damage against our squad here, but he's barely doing anything, right? We had the shield to start things out. We get that Ally Protect. It's weird, just kind of apropos of nothing here. The weak version of Ally Protect on rares, I prefer a 25% Ally Protect to a 50% Ally Protect. It's like the only situation where I'd prefer the weak buff, because usually rares, it's hard to make them tanky enough to be soaking up. It's not like they're Krisk the Ageless, you know? They don't have a ton of defense, a ton of HP usually, so I think the 25% is still amazing to have, right? So that's why I actually really like Cagebound in any rare Ally Protector with only a 25%. But you guys can see here, man, the thing about our man Broadmaw, getting back to the point of the video though, is what he's doing it's not going to come on the stat sheet. You're not going to see that. You know, it's not going to show up. He's not healing. He's not doing damage. It's all the speed. He keeps the team running. You know, he's like the unsung hero of the squad, right? He's going to be reviving. He's going to be increased speeding. He's going to be increased crit rating. He's just going to be adding that turn meter boost as well, in control a little bit on the A1. So again, Broadmaw, not doing anything crazy there, but trust me, he's a champion really worth taking a look at. I would never use him as food, to say the least, because eventually you will need him for that Doom Tower secret room on the hard version, because it is difficult, and having a reviver is really going to make or break a lot of the teams out there. So there it is, guys. That is the guide, kind of a short one today on Broadmaw. Hope you enjoyed it. Go ahead and subscribe if you like these champion guides coming at you guys 1 or 2 times a day. And as always, take care, guys.